So what does a top 1% man look like exactly? Especially on the internet nowadays, we have all had this notion that the top 1% man is the guy that smokes as many cigars as possible and drives a fancy car and has plenty bitches and everything. And I'm not going to say that that's not part of being like a top 1% man. But to me, from what I've learned, from what I've seen, I feel like being a top 1% man, you have to be a top 1% in all areas of life. Because most of these guys that show you the fancy car and all that, they're just like 1% in money, just making money. They are like top 1%, and that's literally it. Their health is not top 1%, their like spiritual life is not top 1%, they are like relationship wise, maybe with their family or with their partner and stuff. Many of them, they don't have like a partner, they're just like sleeping around. They are like many other aspects of their life, they are not top 1%. So to me, I feel like to get to that, to be actually be a top 1% man, is not just smoking cigar and driving this fancy car. And of course, like I said before, those can help, those can be part of it, but you have to make sure all areas of your life are dialed in. Health, wealth, relationship, happiness, those are just like the four main categories. But every single area, whether that's spiritually, socially, financially, every single stuff, you have to make sure that every single thing is dialed in. The thing I'll just say is getting to the top 1% is kind of hard. I'm not going to lie, like getting to the top 1% is really competitive. But getting to the top like 20% of people isn't very, very hard. Like, of course, it's still difficult. Of course, you're still going to work hard. But it's kind of simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. Simple because to get ahead of 80% of people, you literally just have to do what 80% of people don't do. So for example, in terms of making money and stuff, to get ahead of 80% of people financially, I think in the US also they said to like be a top 1% earner, you have to be making $400,000 a year. So if you're making maybe $100,000 a year, for example, you're already above like the top 80, you're already in the top 20% of people like financially. Making $100,000 a year, I'm not trying to say it's easy by any means. Of course, that's very, very hard, especially if you don't live in the US like I do, like I live in Nigeria. So trying to make that type of money here it's just 10 times harder compared to if you are actually living there. But at the same time, it's not very hard because yes, it's hard and everything, but at the same time, there are like a lot of business models. The internet exists, there's AI, there's coaching programs, and like there's a lot of things you can do if you actually sit down, learn, and devote yourself to like actually learning a business model or skill or something. You can easily reach top like $100,000 a year. From making YouTube videos, you can make $100,000 a year. It's possible. Imagine just $100,000 a year literally gets you like top 20%. You're already ahead of 80% of the population. Even in terms of health wise, just to be ahead of like 80% of people, you literally just have to do the basics. You just sleep like 8 hours a day, eat proper good food, and just exercise. Like literally just doing those 3 basic things and like really dialing it down, you easily get like ahead of 80% of people. Then to get to that top 1%, now you have to take like maybe some special supplements, or you have to do some special type of exercise or therapy. You have to get like a special coach or something like that. So to me, getting to the top 1% is hard, absolutely. But getting to the top 20% isn't really that hard. You just have to work hard and not really do bad habits and stuff. And it's sad what our world has come to, that to get to even like top 20%, it's not really about being competitive. It's just doing basic stuff. Basic stuff will literally get you ahead of 80% of people.